it's pretty safe to say. God give it, God take it away. It's the worldwide American way.
What's going on, team? Proof here, and today I got another recruit report for you from the set of, I think it was from the live stream that Bushiroad put out on Tuesday, where they released 3 spike cards for us to look at, and then they also released one later yesterday with a starter. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put up 2 today, and then I'll put up 2 tomorrow, so look out for those, because these are gonna start coming more and more closer together as the set comes closer to be coming out. That made no sense at all. So hope you enjoy them, and yeah, let's get started. And the first card I'm gonna look at for this video is the PG that we got from the set, which is Cold-Blooded Advisor Cunning Brain. And he's of course the PG, so he has Sentinel, he has Charge, which is big for us, and he says choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed on a GC from hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of the units that is being attacked and it cannot be hit until the end of that battle. And as well, it says auto, when this unit is placed into your deck from rear guard circle, choose up to 3 cards from your drop zone, bind them face up, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn for each face up of him in your bind zone. So first of all, let's start with the first ability, his non-charge ability, non-sentinel ability, which, following the trend of PGs recently, it's back to the old format where they can protect anything and not just your Vanguard. Granted, considering that we won't likely have units on the board to protect when they're being attacked, that part won't be relevant, but it's nice to know that it's there just in case we need to use it. And as for his second ability, the first thing I noticed that it's not generation break restricted, which means that we can use it going into our turn just in case we need to utilize the power boost that he gains. And another thing I noticed is that binding is not required for the power gain to work. So if we choose not to bind something, we can still get the power boost for it as long as we have one in the bind zone already, which is a pretty big boon for him. Just because against certain matchups, we don't want to give more bind, have more cards bound than necessary. So we don't have to bind 3. It just means that we can, if we have 3 others in the bind zone or in the drop zone already, we can put them into the bind zone and give something plus 30 until the end of the turn, which is insane. It triggers when it returns back to the deck, so it has synergy with Miracle Ace, Hellhard 8, and kind of a bit of synergy with Picaro, even though it's not as likely to work with Picaro just because we might prioritize other units to be on the board instead of Cunning Brain here. But the big thing is that it works with Miracle Ace and Hellhard 8, because with Miracle Ace, with 1 card in the bind zone, when we return it back to the deck, we can give Frog Raider plus 10,000 plus the extra 5 from Miracle Ace's return back to skill or return back to deck skill, which is really good, because a lot of issues that Miracle Ace had was getting enough oomph early into the sequence to be able to push over the top. And with Cunning Brain, if you have multiples in your hand, you can just keep throwing mad power onto Frog Raider or onto something else just to help it push over the top, which is really good. And it's stackable, so as long as you can keep calling him out, you can just keep getting the boost over and over and over again. And it makes me really excited to think about what I can do with it in the context of Miracle Ace and Hellhard 8, or maybe just in the context of an early game, not early game, but like a first stride type of thing happening, because you can call off Horizon's stride skill and call it out, and it can attack for 11, and then it can return back to the deck, and then you can give something else plus 10 on top of that, which is really cool when you think about it. Now, yeah, it's really cool. And the last thing I want to mention is, it's kind of an oddball thing, but if we ever have a way to return cards back to the deck on our opponent's turn, we can use this. We can use this defensively as well if it ever happens, because we can return it back to the deck and then use the bind skill, because the bind skill is not contingent on him being charged when he returns back to the deck. It just has to return back. So we can return it back, we can bind 2 to 3 cards, and then if we have extra Cunning Brains in there, we can give our Vanguard plus 10 or plus 20 to make it a defensive monster going throughout the rest of the turn, and then we can save cards in our hand for our own turn, which is really cool. But yeah, that'll do it for Cunning Brain. Those are the main thoughts that I had about him. He's really strong. And it definitely replaces Millie for us in our deck because it already has charge. We never used Millie for her actual ability, which is on hit, discard a card, return her back to the hand, because it was contingent on hitting, and likely it wasn't going to hit because it only was a 6k plus 5 usually with a 7k booster, so 18k with on hit isn't really that threatening when you get to your stride turns. So yeah, Millie gets the boot when he comes out, and this guy's gonna just take over with a combo power, just how stackable he is. You can like discard a PG with him, so you can discard a second Cunning Brain with him, put 2 Cunning Brains into your drop zone, call out a third one on your turn, and then when he returns back to the deck, bind the first 2, and then pass plus 20,000 over to something else, which is really good when you think about it. I'm excited for him. He's a really strong card, and he's only a rare as well on top of that. So yeah, that'll do it for Cunning Brain. I hope you enjoyed. Look out for more. Look out for the rest of these because they're just coming hot down the pipeline because Bushiroad is just delivering them to us. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and that'll do it for me. And until next time, peace. Be easy.